Hello folks, I want to talk a little bit this morning about potato tuber development, the initial development. I planted some potatoes a couple of months ago, right around the 1st of April. Actually, I think I planted them a couple of days before the 1st of April, and I'm down here in Southwest Virginia. And right now it's Memorial Day. It's the 27th of May. So I planted 50 pounds of red Pontiac potatoes, and I've put out a couple of videos already on my potato crop. You can take a look at those videos. There's at least 2 or 3 of the videos. But I've had a lot of problems with in the past with Colorado potato beetles, and I talk a little bit about those in the other videos. But what I was concerned about in this video was how long do potatoes really grow and what sort of yield I can expect. And also I wanted to take a look at some other things. So anyway, this particular thing here comes from Wikipedia, and that's the online encyclopedia, and it talks about the 5 stages of potato growth. You plant your potato seeds. What you're doing is you're actually planting a potato, or you're planting a part of a potato that you cut up into pieces, and that's what they call the potato seed, and it will develop into a plant, and then there's little tubers, little bitty potatoes that start to develop on the bottom of that stem that's down in the ground, and then these little tubers, they swell and produce big potatoes. There's also a flowering stage. So they talk about the 5 growths, and that would be the seed, the tuber development, the flowering growth, and then the tuber enlargement, and then the harvest. So there's actually five stages of growth to potatoes. So what I did here, I was concerned about potato crop yield. I planted 50 pounds, and I was wanting to know how many pounds I could possibly get. So as it turns out, I could get possibly up to 20 times what I planted. So I could get possibly up to 1,000 pounds of potatoes. 10 times 50 would be 500, and then 20 times 50 would be 1,000 pounds of potatoes. Now 20 to 1 is exceptional. I got some other thing. Now this comes off the internet here. I did some searches and I just pulled this right off the internet. There was also a lady on the internet that talked about planting 5 pounds of potatoes last year, and she actually harvested 90 pounds. So she got a 5 in the 90 is 1, and then she got 18 pounds. So she got 18 pounds per pound. So she got up to close to this 20 to 1. So she really had an exceptional harvest. So she really had some good fertile soil, and she really took care of them, and she didn't have any Colorado potato beetles that ate her plants up. So the potato yield can be as low as 1 to 1. I mean, you can just get your seed back, or it can actually be 1 to 0. You might not get any potatoes back if you don't have good soil, or if the Colorado potato beetles eat the tops of the plants up. or if your pH of your soil is way out of range. Potatoes like sort of an acid soil, so it shouldn't be real alkaline. So anyway, you can get good potato yields as high as 20 to 1 or better, but 20 to 1 is really, really exceptional. So if you get a potato yield of 5 or 10, especially if you get right around 10, I think you're doing pretty good. So I can expect to possibly get planted 50 pounds. I can expect to possibly harvest 500 pounds if I take real good care of them. Now, one thing that I wanted to talk about in this is that I also had a couple of little volunteer potatoes. And of course, they came up at the same time as the my other potatoes. They started coming up out of the ground because that was after the frost. And I want to talk about these little bitty tubers that are developing. There's a little potato right there, and there's a little potato right there developing, and there's a little potato right there. These are ones that evidently developed like real early in the spring. These two bigger ones here, but these guys here are only about maybe an inch in diameter, a half inch diameter, and these other guys are really, really small. Here's the stem of the plant that you can see right here. Now, there's another little bitty potato that's developed on the root system. And up here is the actual plant itself. Once again, it's a volunteer potato that came up. It's a red Pontiac because that's what I planted last year. So now, the reason why I wanted to make this video, and here's some more little bitty potatoes that have developed on this underground stem of the potato, and that's a big one. That right there, potato is only about an inch in diameter, so it's really, really small. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about tuber development is it's the last of May now. I'm planting these right around the 1st of April, so they've been in the ground. It's about 2 months, okay, and they're blooming. They have been blooming now for a couple of weeks, and you can see what size the little new potatoes are on the vine here. They're just developing, so to speak. So it takes 2 months to get to this stage. The actual potatoes themselves will grow 4 or 5 months. So as of this point right now, the little potatoes, they just start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and by the time you get to your final stage of your harvest, I mean, if you got good fertile soil and the right pH of the soil, and you got good moisture, and they don't dry up, or you don't have any real bad pest infestation or virus, and then you should get a good production. Now, here's some additional information. And I knew some of this, but I figured it was just really good information that I would put out for you folks so that you know this. Potatoes is really, really a very important food crop. It's the 4th largest food crop after corn, wheat, and rice. So potatoes is really, really very, very important. The potato famine in Ireland back in the 1800s, in 1800s, killed like a fourth of the population, and that was a potato blight. And that actual blight spread to Europe, and it also spread to the United States. And the reason why it spread was there was only pretty much one variety of potatoes that was being planted at that time. So pretty much the entire potato crop was affected by the blight. Had they had different types of potatoes than at that time, then the potato harvest would not have been affected so badly. Right now we have a lot of different types of potatoes that are grown, so some of them are more blight resistant than others. On the internet, if you take a look, And once again, this is from Wikipedia, online encyclopedia. They talk about 1,000 different types of potatoes. I saw on other places on the internet where they were talking about 2,000 and 3,000 and 4,000 and 5,000 different types of potatoes. They're just like tomatoes and peppers and so forth. There's a lot of different types. And this is something that I've heard in the past, I think, about potatoes being used to brew vodka. But I saw this and I said, hey, it just brought it back to me that I was really not, I had been aware of it in the past, but it kind of had skipped my mind that indeed it is used to brew alcoholic beverages. So the total time from planting to harvest is about 4 to 5 months. If you're in a colder climate, the further north you get, the slower that's going to be. The potato vines will start to die at a certain point. You can get small new potatoes about 3 months after planting the potato seed. They'll start flowering, and then about a month or so later you can get some small new potatoes. Once again, how fast they grow and how big the tubers get depends upon the soil fertility, depends on the soil pH, it depends on the looseness of the soil, whether or not you've got it's really hard compacted soil or the soil's loose and you've got a lot of humus in the soil. Once again, going back up here to the top, you can get some really good yields, 20 to 1 or better, if you've got everything right. Good vegetative growth, good fertility of the soil, the good pH level for potatoes, and you don't have any viruses or infestation by potato beetles or any other type pest. So anyway, that's the video, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe to my videos if you like this video. I've got lots of other videos out there for you to take a look at. I do a lot of outdoor stuff, a lot of hiking, and also a lot of gardening videos. So please subscribe. I certainly would appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and you folks have a nice day.